fear of infinity. Confronting the endless unknown. Imagine gazing up at a starry night sky. At first, it's beautiful, a canvas of twinkling lights. But then, the realization hits. Those stars are suns, spread across distances so vast that they defy human comprehension. Between them lies an endless void, infinite and unknowable. This realization stirs something primal within us, creeping unease at the thought of infinity. Why does infinity evoke such dread? Is it the impossibility of grasping the concept of something without boundaries? Or is it the existential fear that in an infinite universe, we are not just small, but utterly insignificant? Today, we'll explore the fear of infinity, from the science and philosophy of endlessness to its impact on our daily lives. Brace yourself, this journey will stretch your imagination to its limits. What is infinity? Infinity isn't simply a number or a large concept. It's the absence of boundaries, a state beyond human comprehension. It defies the familiar parameters that structure our understanding of reality. Mathematicians encounter infinity in countless problems. For instance, between any two numbers, 1 and 2. For example, there are infinitely many fractions. Infinity also arises in cosmology, fueling debates about whether the universe has boundaries or extends forever. These questions aren't just theoretical. They cut to the core of how we perceive existence. Philosophers have long recognized infinity as a paradox. If something is infinite in size or time, how can we, as finite beings, make sense of it? Humanity's relationship with infinity has always been marked by curiosity, and deep discomfort. Existential dread. Infinity's psychological toll. Infinity challenges our sense of identity and structure. Humans crave boundaries. They give us definition and purpose. But infinity dissolves these markers, leaving us adrift in a sea of endlessness. For many, the fear of infinity manifests as existential anxiety, the unsettling realization that we are fleeting, insignificant specks in something unimaginably vast. When boundaries vanish, so does certainty. How do we find meaning in an infinite universe? The fear of time stretching endlessly forward eternity is just as unsettling as the endless expanses of space. Would living forever dull the meaning of life? Would eternal joy become monotony? Alternatively, the thought of infinite suffering, punishment in some afterlife ranks among humanity's most haunting fears. The infinite universe, the vastness of space. When we look at the stars, we're staring into an incomprehensible void. Astrophysicists estimate the observable universe spans 93 billion light-years, but it may be far larger or infinite. This raises profound questions. If the universe is infinite, does everything that could possibly happen actually exist somewhere? The concept of the multiverse builds on this idea. It suggests that our universe is just one among countless others, each with different laws of physics and realities. Somewhere, according to this theory, there might be infinite versions of you living slightly different lives. While fascinating, these thoughts can provoke deep unease. What does individuality mean in the face of infinite copies of ourselves? The sheer vastness of space also reinforces the fragility of human existence. There's no edge to grasp, no center to locate ourselves. It's a boundless void that challenges the significance we assign to ourselves and our lives. Eternity. The fear of infinite time. Infinity isn't just spatial, it's temporal. The concept of eternal time, particularly eternal life, raises its own set of fears. Religions promise eternal salvation in paradise or eternal punishment in hell. But what would it truly mean to live forever? Philosophers like Bernard Williams have suggested that eternal life might eventually lose its allure. Without the constraints of time, would joy lose its meaning? Would we grow weary with no possibility of an end? Similarly, contemplating the universe's fate forces us to confront infinite time. In the distant future, after stars have burnt out and galaxies have dissolved, the universe may collapse into eternal darkness. The heat death of the universe, the sheer expanse of time that follows, when nothing happens is beyond comprehension. Why infinity unsettles human mind isn't designed to understand infinity. Through evolution, our brains were shaped to deal with finite realities, distances, resources, and lifespans. Infinity, by contrast, has no end, no middle, and no edges to grasp. This vastness shakes our sense of self. We derive meaning from personal identity and individuality, but infinity trivializes this. If there are infinite versions of us, do our choices matter? Are we unique, or just noise in a cosmic cacophony? Infinity also represents chaos and uncertainty. For humans, accustomed to order and structure, infinity threatens the stability we rely on. Even something like infinite possibilities, source of creative freedom, can overwhelm us, leading to paralysis in decision-making and existential despair. Infinity in philosophy and religion. Philosophers, like Immanuel Kant, argued that the human mind cannot truly comprehend infinity. We are, after all, bound by finite perception and cognition. Infinity exists as a concept at the edge of our understanding, forcing us to confront our intellectual limits. Religious traditions frame infinity within a spiritual context. In Christianity, God is infinite, embodying boundless love, knowledge, and power. Hinduism describes Brahman as the infinite reality underlying all existence. These perspectives seek to transform the terror of infinity into awe by attaching it to divinity. Instead of being lost in infinite space and time, we are invited to find connection with the infinite. Everyday encounters with infinity isn't confined to abstract theories. It shows up in our lived experiences. Standing at the edge of the ocean, for instance, offers a tangible glimpse of boundless expanse. Similarly, gazing at mirrors reflecting one another creates a vision of infinite regression. Even artistic and mathematical concepts evoke infinity. Fractal patterns, for example, reveal infinite complexity within finite boundaries. M.C. Escher's artwork plays with recursive forms and paradoxes, producing images that fold endlessly in upon themselves. Visual embodiments of infinity's strangeness. Encounters like these serve as reminders of the vastness that surrounds us, highlighting both our limitations and the beauty of existence. The multiverse and infinite worlds idea of a multiverse amplifies the existential implications of infinity. If infinite universes exist, each containing variations of our reality, then every decision we've made, or could have made, exists elsewhere. This is simultaneously revolutionary and crippling. On one hand, it expands the scope of what reality could be. On the other, it undermines individuality. If infinite versions of us exist, what makes us special? The choices that define our lives feel diminished in the face of infinite versions of ourselves. Infinity in art and literaturists and writers have long explored infinity as both muse and terror. Visual artist M.C. Escher captured infinity's paradoxes, while philosophers like Jorge Luis Borges explored its existential implications. Borges' story, The Library of Babel, imagines an infinite library containing every possible book. While this library offers limitless knowledge, it also creates chaos. Most books are meaningless. Infinity in literature often serves as a metaphor for human aspiration and limitation. It reminds us that the answers we seek may exist, but they might forever remain beyond our grasp. Infinity in science. From mathematics to the cosmos-scientific approaches to infinity offer both clarity and mystery. In mathematics, Georg Cantor's theories revealed that not all infinities are equal. For instance, the set of all whole numbers is infinite, but the set of all decimals between 1 and 2 represents a larger infinity. Meanwhile, cosmology pushes the boundaries of infinity. Theories like Hilbert's hotel and black hole physics stretch our understanding of what boundlessness really entails. Yet, for all its logic, infinity remains an enigma that challenges our finite thinking. The fear of eternal life, eternity, raises difficult questions, not just about time, but about purpose. If life had no endpoint, would it retain its urgency? If we had infinite time to achieve every goal, would anything matter? The religious implications of eternal life in heaven or hell make this tension stark. Heaven, while idyllic, could lose joy through endless repetition. Hell imagines an eternity of endless despair, amplifying our fear of boundless time. Even outside of theology, infinity challenges human desire. It suggests there's always more to know, experience, or achieve. Yet it overwhelms us with the realization that we can never understand everything. The infinite ocean, nature's boundless metaphors in nature, infinity is most often compared to the ocean. Its vastness, rhythm, and unknowable depth evoke the boundless beauty and terror of what lies beyond our comprehension. Looking out over the horizon, we glimpse an infinity that mirrors the mysterious expanse of the cosmos. Coping with infinity, finding meaning in limits. While infinity can provoke fear, it also inspires curiosity and reflection. Many philosophers argue that it is the finite, the boundaries of life, that give existence value. Mortality makes every moment precious. Without it, there would be no urgency, no meaning. Mindfulness practices can help as well. By focusing on the present, we can anchor ourselves in the finite, appreciating the moment rather than being overwhelmed by the infinite. Even if we can't comprehend the vastness of infinity, we can marvel at its mystery. The paradox of infinity. Infinity is both a source of terror and a doorway to wonder. It reminds us of our smallness, while inspiring us to explore what lies beyond the horizon. In confronting infinity, whether in the universe, time, or within ourselves, we face the ultimate unknown, and maybe that's the point. Rather than trying to resolve infinity, we are meant to find meaning in its endless exploration.